Testing, testing. Seems like I'm not sure if everyone could hear me. Let me check again. Can any of you hear me? Okay, yes? Okay, great. How about before we officially start this AMA session, let's invite each of our speakers to unmute yourself and test your connection, just in case, because we all know that X has a lot of connecting issues on the spaces. And I'm going to follow the order of our banner over here. And first, I would like to invite Dave. Would you like to unmute yourself and test your connections?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Thank you so much, Davey. And we also have Chihan. Okay, I see that he's in the audience. Okay, joining us on the stage. Let's wait for a few more seconds for him to connect. Let me also go over to Darkin. Is Darkin?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Let's amazing. Let's go over to Karen, if I pronounce your name correctly.
You mean Jian?
Oh, John. Okay, you're online, right? Okay, great. You're from the Castron Capital. Thank you so much. And we also have Arthur. Hi, Arthur. It seems like I could see that you unmute yourself, but I could not hear you. Can anyone hear Arthur?
Not really.
Okay, so Arthur, you might wanted to reconnect again. Thank you so much. And let me double check. Do we still have one more speaker to join us, CFO at Coinvestor Ventures? And his name is Korean, if I pronounce it correctly. Okay, let's wait for a few more minutes because I do not see this speaker in our audience session right now. Everyone, feel free to share today's event link with your community members, your friends, because today we are talking about some very popular topics right now, AI agents. Let's wait for two more of our speakers joining us, and then we can officially start it. And to our speakers on the stage, later we're going to starting from self-introduction. So please be ready for the self-introduction later. And we'll have several discussion topics. Let me also check our Binance Square connections now, because today we are also streaming our session on Binance. Okay, I see Arthur is joining us on the stage.
Yep, I think I'll come back online. Microphone check 1 2.
Perfect. Yes, we could hear you.
Okay,
Awesome.
perfect.
And now we have one more speaker. Let me check here. Or should we just start it right now while we're waiting for Korean to join us? Okay. Because we're all from different parts of the world and we are in different time zones, and I just don't want it to let everyone wait for too long. And once again, thank you so much for joining today's space session organized by Origins over here. And everyone be sure to give our organizer a follow. Today we're going to talk about the age of AI agents. We know that we have been using AI apps like ChatGPT to get answers, right, for probably 2 3 years. But this year, after Open Cloud and other Asians products that's being on the market, we feel like, wow, right now we could use them to complete a lot of tasks instead of just getting answers from them, right? So today we're going to focus on this part, and we're also going to talk about 402 autonomous payments. Really important because we want to know how X402 redefine payments between humans and AI. And we're also going to dive on how X402 and Asians are shaping the future of payment infrastructure and what this means for the broader ecosystem. We're very happy to have several amazing speakers joining us right now, and we're going to following our banner's order to invite each of our guest speakers to introduce themselves. And let's first inviting David. David is the investment director at Animoca Brands. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm David. I'm the investment director at Animal Brands, also leading a lot of the AI related investments. So I have a traditional finance background, also investing in AI and emerging tech for the past 20 years at the investment bank, hedge fund, and VCs. Really great to be here. Thanks.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Dave, for joining us today. And we're so glad to have you here as well. Right now, I could see that we have a lot of listeners on X over here. We have another 1,000 of audience on our Binance Square as well. And people are sending greeting messages. Welcome everyone for joining us, and feel free to come over to X from Binance Square and then check our speakers' profiles and give them a follow. Next, we would like to invite Sean. It's a CBDO at Castron Capital. Welcome.
Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you, Moonlight and Origins, for inviting us to here. And we are the Turkey's largest Web3 VC, and more than $15 million deployed. We did more than 60 deals. We back AI, GameFi, and DeFi infra projects from day one with capital, marketing, and distribution. We are based in Istanbul, and we bridge projects between Europe, MENA, and CIS markets. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are very happy to have you. That also expand our audience, right, to broader communities. Welcome everyone from over the world. And next we have Darken, the core team at Origins Network, our organizer over here. Darken, would you like to introduce yourself to our audience? Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here. My name is Darkan, and I am core member of the Origins. And a little back about my background. I've been into Web3 space for 10 plus years. I've have like 7 or 8 years investing into this and trading this market. I'm also I have a CMO background, and I would like to share a couple of sentences about Origins. So just a second. Yeah, so Origins chain is a modular blockchain designed to power the next generation of AI-driven applications. It provides infrastructure for autonomous agents, programmable coordination, and scalable on-chain services through its ORC20 channel architecture. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Darkin, for the introduction. So we know more about origins, and everyone be sure to give our organizers and our speakers a follow. I see that we have more and more audience joining us, and we are very happy to invite friends from over the world. And next, we are going to bring microphone to Arthur. Arthur is from Canada FinTech Group Partner. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me here. So I will give the brief introduction about myself. So I'm Arthur and the partner of Conduct FinTech Group, and I have like traditional finance background in Deutsche Bank, in PCB, and also I worked in the Polkadot and Polygon, and now I'm the partner of Conduct FinTech Group, and we're focusing on the Web3 and the AI industry. We're also focusing on the payment, computing, message passing, and storage in the both industries. Yeah, that's all about myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arthur, for the intro. Kandak FinTech. Wow, definitely all of our speakers' backgrounds are very related to our topics today. We're going to talk about AI agents and X402 payments. Let's jumpstart over here. Our first discussion topic over here is that we have seen last year kind of like a slowdown in AI agents, right? And then the emergence of X402 protocol toward the end of last year had make the market interest started to once again coming back again, especially in the commercializations of agents. And we could see that more and more projects combining AI with payment infrastructure. So from an industry perspective, which use cases do you think X402 is most likely to unlock first? And over here, we would like to invite David, the investment director at Animoca Brands, to share your input. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think this is a very great timing for X402 protocol to surface, because as we all know, AI agents is having its moment. I think the capability of AI agents is very strong, and I think the key or like the API micropayments. AI agents, they need to do a lot of frequent high frequency jobs like the data API calls, pull money market feeds, things like that. And each of these interaction means they need an account, an API key, and billing relationships. But the X402 collapse all these into a single HTTP request, and with the stablecoin payment embedded. So I think it's actually, very powerful. So I think in the future, we will see, agents using this protocol to manage on-chain payments, treasury balancing, maybe even trading strategies with this built-in compliance logic. And a lot of the machine-to-machine, agent-to-agent payments will be kind of using this X402 protocol as well. Yeah.
Marvelous. Thank you so much, David, for sharing your input with us. Yes, as we could see that since now AI agents could do a lot of things by themselves, right? And between the AI agents, they also need payments, right? They burn a lot of tokens every day. So X402 is definitely a great solution over here. And next, we are also going to bring the same question to Darkin, core team at Origins Network. What's your input on this topic? Thank you. Let me double check with Darkin. Okay.
Sorry, I had some
No
internet.
worries.
Yeah, so we are very optimistic about the convergence of AI agents and based payments, especially in Web3, where the barrier to entry remains high. If users can simply interact with an agent to complete payments and operations, it removes the need to learn complex workflows altogether. At the same time, we also recognize the DEX and DeFi are among of the challenging areas for new users. That's why we're seeing more DEX platforms starting to integrate AI capabilities such as Uniswap and PancakeSwap. On-chain trading data is inherently complex, making it difficult for the average user to interpret efficiently. If in the future agents can analyze the market on behalf of users and autonomously handle asset allocation, trade execution, and even cross-protocol operations under consistent, it would significantly lower the barrier to enter DeFi. So this is exactly the direction Origins Network is moving forward. We are currently collaborating with DEX platforms and cloud compute providers to enable AI agents to continuously train and optimize their strategies while performing real-time interference and execution in live market environments.
Thank you so much for sharing what the Origins Network is working on right now. And I totally agree with what Darken has shared, because lowering the barriers is definitely very important, as DeFi for some users, right, still seems like quite difficult to enter. Thank you so much for mentioning that. And next, we are also going to bring the first discussion topic to Sihan, the CBDO at Castron Capital, to share your viewpoint with our audience. Thank you.
Yeah, I think one of the most compelling use case for X402 is AI-driven data access powered by micropayments. Think about how it works today. You need an API key, a subscription, maybe a credit card on file. That's a friction for developers, and it's friction for users. X402 flips this. Every query becomes a microtransaction, instant payment, instant access. No setup, no subscriptions. For AI agents, this is huge, I think. Instead of being locked into a fixed data sources, agents can dynamically pull from multiple providers, pay tiny amounts in real time, and aggregate the best information available. Better data in, better decisions out. And from the user side, it's invisible. You state your intent, the agent handles everything. Search, payment, and that data. You never touch a subscription form. So I like it this. So X402 isn't just a payment optimization. It turns data access into a programmable on-demand service layer. Both humans and AI agents can interact with the information markets more efficiently. That's a real productivity unlock for sure.
Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. And I wanted to echo that X402 is a great solution, right? Just like Sihan shared with us, that it allows both humans and AI agents to use information market more efficiently, and then saving time, and of course, yeah, also saving money, right? And unlike traditional finance, right, or banking system, it would take days to transfer some funds, right? But yeah, with X402, both the humans and AI agents could do this quickly. Thank you so much, everyone. And next, we are going to talk about another very popular product over here in our second discussion topic, Open Cloud. I believe, wow, since about 2 months ago, right, we could see so many people are learning how to create your own clouds at home, and your own AI agents could help you to work 24/7, right, to process a lot of data. And we see more and more projects also allowing our users to assign different skills to our own AI agents and let them to actively interact with different protocols and services instead of just passively executing comments, right? And so over here in this section, we would like to hear from our speaker's perspective. What practical advantages does this skill-based approach bring to our users? And do you think it has the potential to simplify the overall Web3 user experience? Originally, first, we would like to invite Korean, but he's not here right now. So let's bring the question to Arthur. And Arthur is the Kandak FinTech Group partner. Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, in my opinion, the X4 protocol is essentially the settlement layer for the machine economy. It finally solves the problem of how a machine can pay another machine without a human being in the loop. That's a really great thing. And here is where I see the first big wins, and there are a couple of points here. First, I think that would be a hyper granular micropayments. In this kind of section, we can forget monthly SaaS subscriptions, and also with X402, an agent can pay, 0.0001 dollar for a single data query or a single model interface. It turns to intelligence into a pay-as-you-go utility, such like, electricity. It's really good. And the other point I think here is agent to agent is like A2A contract here. This is I think it's inception of the digital world, and a high-level research agent can, autonomously hire a agent. They can pay specialized translations agent for a fact-checking agent via the X402 to complete the complex task. And it also creates a self-sustaining digital labor market. So it's really good. And the other part is, I think, with this, the scale, or with the X402, we can use the deepin real-time settlement in decentralized hardware networks. The X402 allows agents to lease GPU power to, bandwidth on a second-by-second bias, and then no more prepaid credits. That's really something. Yes.
That is marvelous. Thank you so much, Arthur, for letting us know what X402 really brings to us, and also allowing agent to agents interactions, right? More convenient and also very low cost. That is just lots of benefits over here. Thank you. And well, we would also like to bring the same question to David, Investment Director at Animoca Brands. What are your thoughts on this discussion topic, from open cloud's popularity to different projects allowing our own AI agents to interacting with their protocols? Thank you.
Oh yeah, I think it's a complete game changer, open cloud, because I think open cloud itself is not a very complicated product, so to speak. It's just a framework that has a channel to link to some of the communications apps like Telegram and so on. Actually, I understand that even before open cloud came out, a lot of the big LM players, they have been thinking about some of these in their pipeline already. But obviously open cloud were born in a very great timing. But despite that, I think there's a few things that I think is their big advantage. I think the skill-based model is very important. Because the skills, right, essentially is a big UX improvement, right? A lot of the more kind of beginner users, once they install the skills, they can, use the agent to handle a lot of the complex tasks for them, wallet management, token swaps, on-chain inquiries, and so on. I think for non-technical users and new users, that's essentially very important. The second one is, the multi-chain kind of interactions is also much easier, right? Because previously we had to find the right bridge to do all of that. But essentially, when we have a skill, to do that, you can just ask your agent to kind of take care of that for you as well. And finally, I think it's a complete new layer of infrastructure, right? So now I think for OpenClaw itself, we have over kind of 5,400 new skills that are built by the community and still growing every day. In kind of a Web3 specific skills, there's also quite a lot as well. So essentially, it's opened a new kind of world for developers to develop these skills for OpenClaw and other structure. And I think it's a complete new world for the improvement in the user experience.
Exactly. And other than the new world for user experience, it's also a new world how we process information and how we see the payment, right? The importance of X402 payment over here. It's just marvelous to hear David sharing that after open clouds, we actually kind of like have over 5,400 new skills being discovered. That's just amazing how fast this became and really provide a lot of great solutions. Thank you so much, David, for sharing your thought with us. And so far over here, we are halfway through our AMA sessions, and we have been discussing about AI from a software perspective. However, we all know that the development of AI is fundamentally built on hardware, especially GPUs and compute resources. So given how rapidly AI is advancing today, how do you see the future of hardware and compute supply? And with the growing discussion around X402 and decentralized compute, do you think they have the potential to reshape this market right now? And we're going to bring this interesting question to our next speaker over here, and Zihan, the CBTO at Castron Capital. Would you like to share your views regarding the hardware over here? Thank you.
Sure, Moonlight. If we look back at the past decade, the industry was almost entirely software driven. Programming, product development, game design. Value lived at the software layer, but that's shifting fast. As more companies launch their own AI systems, demand is moving toward hardware. And I think this is underappreciated right now. Here is the thing: AI can write code for sure, not perfectly, but well enough that the demand for traditional programmers will at least partially decline, and that's just the reality. What we don't decline is the need for hardware to run all of this. GPUs are the obvious example for this. But I'm also talking about robotics. As AI moves out of the cloud and starts interacting with the physical world, the hardware requirements expand dramatically. We seeing in the video AI robots everywhere, I think. So my view is this: we are transitioning from a software first era into something more integrated, a world where software and hardware are equally important. And in that world, hardware may once again become the key competitive differentiator. The companies that understand this early are going to have a real edge.
Nice. Thank you so much, Sihan, for sharing your views with us. So yeah, all the AI companies should not only focusing on building new agents or software, right? But also need to focus on hardware, GPUs or yeah, AI robots as well, right? I heard maybe later this year we're going to see more and more AI robots in our workforce or even in our household. That is something new, right? So really looking forward to the combination of software and hardware working together in the AI era. Thank you so much, Sian, for sharing your views with us. And we're also going to bring in this question to Darkin. Darkin is the core team member at Origins Network. Thank you.
Thank you. So during the rapid development of AI, we have also seen both the massive potential and the limitations of hardware, especially GPU compute. Today, GPU shortages that we're all aware that are happening right now have already become a real issue in the market. So I believe the key is not just increasing supply, but building more efficient economic loop to improve how compute resources are actually allocated and utilized. In this context, combining cloud computing with user-contributed GPU will be an important direction. Instead of relying solely on large cloud providers, we can aggregate idle GPU resources distributed across the globe and allocate them through market-driven mechanisms. This approach not only improves overall compute efficiency, but also reduces costs, making it easier for developers and AI applications to access the resources they need. At the same time, idle GPU can be utilized for training and inference, unlocking the full potential of global compute capacity. So, in the long run, I believe the compute market will gradually shift from a centralized cloud infrastructure toward a more decentralized, economically driven compute network. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Argan. And also very interesting for sharing what Origins Network is working towards, right? As you say that it's really important to pay attention to the GPUs market and compute because it's all very essential for our era to grow and then to become more decentralized, economic driven compute network. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to bring the same question to David. David is the investment director at Animoca Brands. David, what is your thought regarding X402 and decentralized compute in this topic, or you could talk about software and hardware. Thank you.
Oh yeah, maybe I can add a little bit of on the hardware point as well. Yeah, and as I understand, I think you know, all the HBM kind of memory output from SK Hynix and Micron are completely sold out for this year. And then Samsung was saying, you know, double-digit price increase. And Jensen recently at GTC also talked about, you know, we expect kind of $1 trillion demand for the GPUs. So what I see is, you know, because previously we have been all talking about AI models training, right? But now it's actually shifting to, you know, always on inference rather than just training, because a lot of the training is, of course, still ongoing, but the additional demand is actually coming from inference needed by, you know, of course, AI agents that need to be run kind of 24/7 and experiments with all these open cloud and so on. And a lot of the enterprise, right, they also, you know, migrate from just calling the API from these LLM models to hosting their own open source models themselves, right? So they need to build their own infrastructure as well. So, you know, with this in mind, actually, it means that some of the decentralized compute that we have been building, you know, in the Web3 space might actually come into use because the cost to leverage some of this idle capacity, decentralized GPUs capacity across the world is still 50% cheaper than just using AWS or Azure. Of course, there's still limitations, right? For this decentralized compute, AI agents might, actually find this decentralized compute quite useful because they, have batch interference, maybe kind of a shorter duration usage. Even trading on Hyperliquid for, some time during market hours and so on. But centralized compute still has some advantage in terms of longer running training types of jobs. I think this also intersect well with the X4 tool, right? Because AI agents now, if they can use X4 micropayments, they can buy their own compute, right? Into using these decentralized compute providers that's available in the Web3 market these days. So it's tied very well together actually.
Amazing. Thank you so much, David. Yes, we really do need to pay attention to the higher and higher price of GPU and the shortage problem as well. Also paying attention to the convergence of AI, robotics, and energy. Right? I believe this will be a new focus for a lot of Web2 and Web3 companies, right? Because in the past, we never need to worry about that. But after AI's, this sector is really booming and growing so fast, then we could see more and more focus toward their compute, hardware, energy, very, very important key resources for us to grow in the AI era. Thank you. And now we are going to go to our next discussion topic. And everyone, you can see that I already pinned the original AMA announcement over here and another quote tweet over here on the top or of our X Spaces. And if you are curious about our speakers' background, give them a follow. Feel free to click on, we tag their companies over here. Feel free to give all of our speakers and our organizer origins a follow. Now let's look at our discussion topic. Number 4, as we see more and more traditional financial and payment institutions entering Web3 space, right, or crypto space. For example, previously our guest speaker mentioned Stripe, right, working with Tempo on machine payments, and Coinbase also launched X402, and companies like MasterCard and PayPal actively building realty infrastructure. Actually, the other day I just received a official notice from PayPal, right? Mentioning that, their crypto payment, etc. So yeah, they have been really evolving in this area. And given this trend that we have seen clearly among traditional financial institutions, do you think traditional finance is actually accelerating their adoption of this new payment paradigm? And how do you see payment systems evolving in the future? You could focus on in combining traditional finance to Web3, or you could focus on agent to agent. And first, we're going to invite Arthur Kendak, FinTech Group Partner, to share your views with us. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mulai. So when you see the heavy hitters like Stripe, MasterCard, and PayPal, they are playing into the AI payment space. I think it is a clear signal the machine economy is officially ready for prime time. Yeah, and I think of like some reasons why they are, so obsessed with this. So first one, I think they are giving the ID cards to the AI agents, which means they are legitimizing the digital citizen. So right now, AI agents are basically financial ghosts. They cannot own a bank account or a credit card. Stripe and Coinbase, they are building the compliance and the ID layer to these agents can legally to hold and spend money. And the other part, I think they are helping people to tap into the machine skill volume. So I know we're all humans, but humans are slow spenders. We sleep, we stops, we snooze, we do a lot of things, but we don't constantly spend money or spend tokens. So AI doesn't. So a fleet of agents can execute millions of micro, transactions per second. For payment giants, this is a volume gold mine. So they want to be the tax collector on every single micropayment between machines. I think that is a great mind when they doing this. And they also believe, I think they also believe the central bank of the future is also built on the X402. They by backing the protocols like the X402, these companies are trying to set the global standard for how value moves into the AI area. So if you control the payment rails for AI, you control the infrastructures of next centuries. That is a great move for all these heavy hitters. I think that's all. That's my answer. Thank you. Online.
Thank you so much, Arthur, for about from the perspective of personal finance, right? And then also to adapting crypto payments. And believe, well, in the future, more and more traditional finance institutions, they are going to have new department, right? Focusing on how they could adapt crypto payments and X402, right? Even not for not just human to human, but also agents to agents. That would be super amazing. Thank you, Arthur. And next over here, I see we have a new speaker joining us from Coinvestor Ventures. Hi, welcome. Can you hear us now? Okay. Yeah, Isa, it seems like there are some background noise over your side, so we cannot really hear you. No, we cannot really hear you talk, but we see that you unmute yourself, and we could hear some background noises, but just cannot hear you. Maybe you wanted to reconnect again. We will invite you to share your thoughts later after you reconnect. Okay, probably he cannot hear me, so let me send a message over here. Thank you so much. And next, we're going to bring our discussion topic number 4 to Darken. Darken is our core team member at Origins Network. And let me come back over here and then talk about the topic again. So we have seen, like previously mentioned, right, PayPal or different traditional financial institutions that they are adapting crypto, and they have also supporting crypto payments. So do you think more and more traditional finance is coming to embrace crypto payment? And how do you see payment system evolving in the future? Question to Darken. Thank you.
So I believe the future of payments will be diverse rather than dominated by a single standard. Today, in addition to X402, we are also seeing new approaches like MPP emerging, for example. Some people urge that once MPP is introduced, X402 will no longer be relevant, but I don't really agree with that view. If we look at real world payment systems, they have always been multi-layered. Uh, we use Visa, MasterCard, Apple Pay in different scenarios on a daily basis. Traditional finance has never relied on just one payment method, so it's even less likely for a more decentralized system like blockchain to be limited to a single standard. While there may eventually be leading players, it's unlikely to be a monopoly. Multiple payment methods will continue to coexist. They like they always do. Also, X402 and MPP are fundamentally different at the architectural level. Their core designs serve different purposes. In the end, it comes down to how developers integrate those protocols and whether they can achieve broad merchant and ecosystem adoption. So I believe that's actually the key question. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Darken, for letting us know about that. And we're also very excited to see that today we have been discussing a lot, right? From exposure to payment to digital finance, embracing crypto, and to open clouds and Asian hardware, software, energy. And we are going to continue with our discussion topic over here. And friends, if you have any questions, feel free to share your thought or your questions in the comment sections over here. And I see we have our new speaker from Co-Investor Ventures coming back. Hi, Isad, can you hear us? Would you like to unmute yourself and try it again? Okay, it's better than previously, but still your voice is really, really soft. So I guess there's might still be some connecting issues. But would you like to share your views regarding tertiary finance institutions embracing crypto, and how do you see payment system evolving in the future? Thank you.
So actually, I believe that payment systems are one of the most important project platforms. I think that this project will be significantly important for the Western ecosystem, and this is a way that they call people to even make money, then they will be able to more freely. So definitely be for all of us.
Okay, I believe you shared something very valuable, but unfortunately, I can't really hear you clearly. Maybe later you could share what do you say in written format in our group chat, and I will share it with our community members. Thank you so much, Isa, for joining us over here on X Spaces. And we are moving towards our discussion topic. Number 5, as we could see, AI agents are developing super fast, right? Do you think AI will eventually replace certain human jobs? Well, from let me quickly do a response over here. It already started to do so, right? And also, but that's just my what I see over here in the US. And if so, which types of jobs are most likely to be impacted first? And from your perspective, what kind of skills or roles should people focus on to stay competitive in the new AI era? So, which means, how do we make sure that we are not going to be replaced by AI too soon, right? What skills should we get? First, we're going to bring this question to Arthur, the Kenda FinTech Group partner. Thank you.
Okay, I'm here. Thank you, Moonlight. Yeah. So I think for this question, everyone knows that AI is coming for the boring stuff, but it's not a robot apocalypse. It is more like a massive career upgrade for those who can, adopt it. And I think a lot of us here, we are in the blast zone. So essentially, anyone whose job is to be a human router, you are in the blast zone. So if you spend your day moving data from a spreadsheet A to a PDF B, or answering the same 5 questions via email, you are in trouble. So here we are talking about the data grounds and the junior analysis. The AI doesn't get bored or make typos. And then the other part is I think the entry level of like the content flippers. So if you are just rewriting press release, the LLM can do that in 2 seconds, maybe for like $0.001. Yeah, that's cheap and high efficiency. And the other part, I think the basic customer support. So with X402 and the skill-based agents like Open Cloud and the kind of stuff, I will check that for you. This kind of answer job are totally toasted already. So what we can do to to stay unreplaceable? So I think we need to move up the value chain. So stop being a worker bee and start being conductor. So first one, I think first thing come up in my mind is we can master the vibe. So AI can do real sympathy negotiation, high stakes leadership kind of stuff. So all this when we build deep trust between like human to human or system to system, that's where the old school human still mm, the old I mean the old human touch old school human touch is still the king. And also we can become a agent architect. So don't fight the bots, we can lead them. The winner of the next decades will be the people who know how to switch or to stitch the 50 different AI skills to another agents. We can build a business upon it. That's a pretty good thing. And the other part we can, to be creative synthesis. AI is a great, remixing the past, but it is also trouble at leaps of faith. So we can focus on roles that require intuitions and taste, and also the high level strategies, things like that. Yeah. Thank you, Moonlight.
Thank you so much, Arthur, for sharing how not to be replaced by AI agents so fast, right? And those simple tasks will soon be replaced. But I also believe that there will be new job opportunities being created because, well, we never had AI agent in the past, right? So I believe there will be new job positions that being created in this AI era as well. Thank you, Arthur. Next, let's going to uh, Sihan, the CBDO at Castron Capital. What is your thought? How do we not to be placed by AI so fast? And what skills should we get? Thank you.
That's a great question, Moonlight. And honestly, it's the one everyone is wrestling with right now. I agree with Arthur words, and also I look at this way. Technology is always moving. We have seen this pattern with the internet and mobile. The people who won weren't just the experts; they were the ones who adapted the fastest. To be direct, yes, AI will replace roles, especially those that are predictable. If a job involves repetitive data, basic reporting, or following a set formula, yeah, AI agents are going to handle that much better than humans. Uh, but the real skill to focus on today isn't one specific AI tool. It's what I call learning velocity. How fast can you see a new tool, understand it, and apply it to your workflow, your special workflow? The most competitive people in this era want to be ones with the most technical knowledge, but the ones who can pivot to the quickest when the next wave hits. In a world of AI, your ability to learn is the only skill that actually compounds. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sihan. Adapting the new trend and embrace new technology, right? Don't be afraid of AI. Learn how to use it and start to grow some open clouds at home, right? Lots of clouds over here at home, and then helping us to do our jobs. And another thing I see that in the AI era is not just the working system, but our education system will also be changed because people will think, why do I still need to go to school to learn something and memorize a lot of things, right? Because I could simply get answers from all those AI tools, which is also some interesting thought that we are going to face in the near future. And next, we are going to check with our I do not see ESAT over here from our co-investor ventures. So let's jump into our ending over here. But actually, before we end, I would like to check, do we have any speakers wanted to share your input? Because I think the last question is a very interesting one. And if you want to share your thought, like how do we being AI agent proofed, right? Not to be replaced by them, and what skills should we need to get in the new era? Feel free to unmute yourself and share with us. Well, I could, yeah, Dave, please.
Yeah, this is very interesting topic because one of my favorite movies is Terminator. I'm not sure if anyone have watched that movie before. Essentially, it says that AI and robots will rise and oppose human race, and then causing apocalypse and so on. So it's a great movie, but essentially, I think it's already kind of happening, right? On some level, but before that, I think still relatively far away because the AI agents they still haven't got their physical bodies. But I think that's definitely the next stage in terms of robotics and physical AI. So before that, I think AI agents definitely will replace a lot of the entry data focused level jobs, right? Which they already did. We see many big companies rationalizing their workforce. I think a few skills that people will need, right, in the future to equip themselves with is first thing is to work with these AI agents, right? Essentially, is a bit like um, able to use Microsoft Excel and Word, right, back in the days, right, in the finance days. Everyone need to have this basic skill. So I think working with AI agents will become this basic skill. You need to know how to prompt them, how to delegate work to them, and essentially how to complement their workflow. And I think secondly is you need to have your expertise and uniqueness because with AI agents, essentially the execution capability of different people has leveled. So you need to have specific expertise in your domain that the AI cannot replace you, at least in the near term, on that specific context. So be an interesting and unique person. And finally, you need to be able to work across different systems boundaries. And I think, for us, it is a great advantage because we are, a lot of us in the Web3 field. And, now combining with AI, there's a lot of cross systems, activities that we can add value on the tokenization side of things, user identity, permission, blockchain infrastructure. And I think a lot of these things still cannot be fully automated in terms of the design incentives, making the decision, some of the regulatory side of things. So, I think these things will be more important going forward. Yeah.
Nice. Thank you so much, Dave. So if you don't do simple tasks, but you can make decisions and you can combining different skills and understanding context, right? Like business, client strategy, and work with humans, work with people, that would be quite safe in the era, right? How not to be replaced by AI is the right question to talk about right now. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining today's event. And thank you, Origins, for organizing this AMA session. Also inviting a lot of wonderful speakers for them to share their thoughts. And over here, we had David, Investment Director at Animal Brands, Sihan, CBDO at Castron Capital, Darken Courting at Origins Network, Kirim, and let me see, ESAT, right, from Coinvestor Ventures as other Contact FinTech group partner. Thank you all for spending time with us. And today we have discussed a lot of very important questions, right? From AI agents, open cloud, how to survive in the AI era. Also talk about software, hardware, energy, X402 payments, and financial institution embracing crypto, right? And those are all very important topics. And friends, if you miss any part of it from our audience, feel free to come back. We have replays available on X Spaces and Binance Square. We are streaming on 2 different platforms at the same time. And we are also looking forward to the new AI era. Don't be afraid of AI agents and don't be afraid of new things, right? Learn how to work with our AI agents and how X402 are working and how we could adapt them into our everyday life. It is very clear that we're still early, right, in the AI era, and the direction is becoming more and more defined. So thank you again, everyone, for being here. We're looking forward to seeing you all in our next session with Origins. Until next time, let's Moonlight sign off. Thank you.